Welcome to the April 11th edition of Last Week in a Byte. We've got a packed session, so we're going to start it off. Really happy for the release of Delta Spark 2.3. There's a lot of really good features, including zero copy convert to Delta from Iceberg via convert to Delta, shallow clone for Delta, Parquet, and Iceberg tables, idempotent writes for DML operations, improving merge when you're using the when not matched by source, reading change data feeds, CDF, in SQL queries, improved read and write performance in S3, recording vacuum operations in the latest transaction log, which is a very popular ask, and a really cool one of my favorites in fact, reading Delta tables with deletion vectors, which seriously speeds up the performance of your Delta tables. In addition to all that, we actually have a great call up by Will Gurton. I'd love you all to follow him on LinkedIn. He often posts some really good information on the latest information for Delta sharing. And so in this case, he's showing a really quick way for you to showcase streaming operations from Delta sharing. So check it out. Really happy to have him constantly advocating for the community. Now, one of the cool things that I like talking about is that Delta Lake's part of the Linux Foundation, and it really helps for us to continue building community. In fact, if you join us at the Open Source Summit North America in Vancouver in mid-May, there's a session that Carly Ackerley and myself are going to talk about Delta Lake and how Linux Foundation really helps us build the communities. One other cool project is Linux Foundation's FinOS, Financial OS, the Legend project. Legend now also has a shout out for Delta Lake as being part of one of its integrations, and of course, we're going to be doing the same as well. Another really cool thing that we just added is linen.dev. It is basically an archive for our Slack, so that way all of our Slack messages are now Google searchable and archivable, so you can always refer to them. And so it's really helpful. Just go to linen.delta.io to check out our Slack messages, the archive that is. And finally, last but certainly not least, I wanted to do a shout out to Nick Karpov. He's written a wonderful blog called Introducing Support for Delta Lake Tables in AWS Lambda. The little code snippet you see there, of course, that's directly coming from his blog, showcases how to go ahead and use AWS Lambdas to read and write from Delta tables. So that's it for today's April 11th edition of Last Week in a Byte. Hope you have a great week and see you next week.